Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So this morning we continue with the topic number 5 from the Essential Yoga Practice Philosophy book. But it's all the important topics for a person that start in the classical path of yoga. So today we will talk about the important, you can say, philosophical idea that will guide you so that you will be engaged in the practice of yoga and understand why we do this. Because if we don't understand, then we would start something and we stop and then we don't continue. So the few concepts are very important to understand. Number 1 is concept what life is. Number 2, what is concept what freedom is. Number 3, the concept of happiness, what is happiness. And number 4 is the concept of liberation. Okay? So I try to speak in a very simple term so everyone can understand. So what is life? According to Swami Sivananda in the book Bliss Divine, life is God in expression. Life is joy. Life is flooding of the bliss of the Spirit. Life is like a river. What that means, river, you look at the river is constantly moving. So and it's a flow. So what that means, life is a flow and it's constantly changing and moving. And he said, all rivers are restless until they meet the ocean and become one with the ocean. So in the same manner, we will be restless here in our life until we find our source. Until we reach our destination. So you look around, you see people all the time changing. They're changing job, they're changing, lifestyle, they're changing marriage partner, they're changing location, they're constantly changing. So all these changes sometimes are necessary, sometimes are not necessary, but it just shows that we are, when we say restless, that's what it is. We're restless, we always try to improve, we always try to find, but sometimes we don't know where to go and what to do, And when we practice yoga and yoga life for a long time, then we all also want to change. Because it's like something you do routinely, and even though it's good, you want to change. So if something you do that is already good, and you want to change, so you change on, to what? You change to what? To something not so good. But that's change. Sometimes people change to something not so good. But also it's called change. Why? Because the mind always requires some change to renew itself, to feel that it does something. Because the nature of the mind is to move. So when it's able to move, they say, oh yeah, I'm healthy because I'm moving. And for yogi, it's the opposite. Actually, it's the stillness that is healthy. And if we change, we have to change consciously, not to something worse, but to something better. Or if you already have something that is good, you just tweak a little bit, change a little bit, in order for the mind to feel that, something is new. Like now we're going to paint the yoga hall color. Wow, that would be something. So it's some change, but it's the same thing. Yes or no? So that's the smartness when you practice yoga. Is don't change to something worse. Understand the mind needs change. Give to it a little change, but not fundamental change, and the mind wouldn't even know. The mind just wants change, yeah, but it wouldn't even know. If you do just a little change, it's not fundamentally important, and the mind is satisfied. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Like today I wear this shawl, tomorrow I have this shawl, I'm going to wear this one. And sometimes people help me and they say, Swami, you choose this shawl, this shawl, this shawl. They're all the same. Fundamentally, it's the same color. It helped me to meditate, because when you meditate, your metabolism slow down and you get more chill in the morning. So this shawl is the same. More or less a little bit difference, a little bit preference. Okay? So you have to be quite smart to practice, go directly to the goal, and don't be a victim in your mind. So it is a movement. Life is a movement. Okay? But we have to know the direction, like a river has a direction. It goes toward the ocean, or it merges with the ocean. So the same, our life is like this. It's a voyage in an infinite ocean of time. Okay? So what that means? That means we did not start our voyage of life just this lifetime. Just about 30, 40 years, 50 years. For me it's like 70 years. Sounds like a lot, but actually it's not a lot. It's a blink of an eye. And this voyage in the infinite ocean of time has started before this lifetime. And that's very difficult for our scientific mind or our materialistic mind to understand. That there is something before this life and there is something after this life. And it is a flow, continuously flowing. So after you leave the body, doesn't mean that you quit life. Life stops. It's not like this. And people say, when you die, life stops. No. Swami Sivananda says, no. Life continues in a different form. More subtle and more real, actually. So, the infinite ocean of time includes all this time immemorial that you have reincarnated to go through different experiences. And you don't remember. We say, well, scenes are perpetually changing. Even in this lifetime, I was born in Vietnam, in a little city at that time, Da Lat. Yeah. The scenes are different. At that time I was born, it was war. And then at 18, I went to the Canada snow. You know what that means? Landed from Vietnam to the Canada winter. I didn't have appropriate clothing, jacket, boots, nothing. And I was shocked because in Vietnam we only see little snow in the fridge, and that's it. I cannot imagine the vast amount of snow. So scenes are changing. Everything is changing. From Asia country to also the Western country, or to university there. Things are perpetually changing, Master Sivananda said. And then I went to the ashram. Scenes are changing again. It's in Canada, it's in the mountains. Laurentian mountains, beautiful mountains. The ashram have its own routine and rule regulation, which I didn't understand in the beginning. Yeah, but I was ready, so I follow and self-transform myself, and so and then Swami Ji sent me at different places to. After some time, after many years of training, he sent me here and there. So things are changing. I've been in New York, I've been in the National Bahamas, I've been in Yoga Farm, I've been in Chicago, and many places. And then I come to San Francisco, and then, I come here in the Yoga Farm, 1995. Yeah. That time the ashram is not that developed, not too many buildings, a lot of grass, tall grass, no shine, no temple outside. Yeah. And we are in the valley. So the point is, there's always a reason why life changes. So I go here, I go there, not because I like to go here and go there. And one of the guideline in yoga life is don't want anything. Yeah? Accept and surrender to what is in the moment present, don't want anything. So I accept that, that yoga life when I started, and whatever the need is, I went there, but not because of me. You see? So when it's not because of me, then it's guaranteed that whatever I do is selfless. It's guaranteed that I can fall back into my spirit. Yeah, because if you go with your mind desire and you do this and do that with your mind desire, then you get caught again in the mind. Then what's the point? If you're caught in the mind, then what's the point to be in the ashram? Yeah. Well, you can be anywhere. Your mind will tell you what to do all the time. Yeah. And sometimes there are many stories that is very funny because I end up in a job that I didn't like, for example, in the ashram Karma Yoga job. But the principle is that you don't quit, you don't change, you don't exercise your likes and dislikes, and So I end up, for example, doing accounts. Number one, the first job I had in Karma Yoga is I did librarianship. I was a librarian in university before, but I quit. Went to the ashram and said, "Oh, you're a librarian. We have a library. When do you want to help us?" So I do the same thing, But I accepted to do this, because of residue. Karma has to be there, and the main thing is you have to train your mind. And then I had to do accounts, which is something I really didn't like. But I didn't walk out at the gate. And that's how training goes. Training of what? Training of the mind. So that you understand that the mind is the mind. But the spirit is the spirit. And you have to be able to distinguish between the two. If you are acting up with the mind all the time, you will never know what is the spirit. You see? So after many years of training like this, there's something that comes out of you that is different than what your mind normally would say. You see? So I was doing sadhana, I was doing yoga practices every day, practicing, yoga asanas, pranayama, meditation, not missing a day. So there is something changing, but then there is something not changing consciously, which is your sadhana. So Swami Sivananda says that journey, that changing journey, in fact, is the journey from impurity to purity. Okay? If you do that, then you go in the right direction. From hatred to cosmic love. Before you don't like this, you don't like that, you hate this person, that person. So now eventually maybe you don't love them all, yeah, but at least you don't have hatred, you accept. So then you are progressing in that journey of life. From death to immortality, what that means? That means in the beginning, you identify with the body, so therefore death is certain. But eventually, you identify with your spirit, because you meditate after some time, your spirit becomes very real. Yeah. I remember my first experience, I was very young. Not very young, 28. But my first serious meditation experience, it was in Montreal. I just meditate. And all of a sudden, I come out of the meditation, when I finish meditation, then I said, I declare, I'm not afraid of death anymore. You see? Because when you get in touch with your spirit, which you don't know how it looks. And what is it when you say, get in touch with your spirit? Are you touching something? No, you're not touching anything. But you feel something that is so real, even though you don't have words to explain. Yeah? You feel something that is so real that you know that this material body, the material life, is less real. So then you are not afraid anymore. Big change. Some people, they cannot meditate, but they can do savasana, which is the yoga relaxation, kind of relaxation. But they feel the lighter, and they feel lighter, they are more detached toward their body. So life is that journey from death to immortality. Okay? It's not that the body become immortal, like people think. Yeah? It's changing consciousness to not identify with the body, identify with your immortal spirit. So life is from imperfection to perfection. Okay? So when you work at something, just keep doing it until you become perfect. Okay? So you are working on perfecting your character, perfecting yourself. Do it again and again, and every time failure, every time temptation, it means that there is room for you to improve. From slavery to freedom. You slave to your mind, you've been slave to your habits. You are so unhappy, not experience freedom, but eventually you feel more and more free. From diversity to unity. When you understand the essence of life. From ignorance to eternal wisdom. So this is the journey of life. You move from ignorance. You have to understand, ignorance means ignorance of your true nature. Ignorance doesn't mean you don't know English, or you don't know Spanish, or you don't know mathematics, or you don't know, different theories that exist, scientific theories. It's not that. There are people, when they feel bored, what they do, they go study. They study this, they have sometimes 5 PhD, and they're still very unhappy. Why? Because they just study externally. You see? But ignorance means understanding that you don't know the true nature of yourself, and you don't know the true nature of things. So then you have to do specific spiritual sadhana, or spiritual practices, in order for you to calm the mind, clarify the intellect, get in touch with your soul, and then at that time, the all knowledge is within. Then you don't have to have any PhD, any recognition, but you feel very rich, because you feel that you are knowledgeable and wise. You feel self-confidence for the first time. So life is a journey from pain to eternal bliss. So we suffer a lot of pain, a lot of suffering. Due to our karma, due to our ignorance, due to our bad habits. And eventually we learn to correct ourselves, learn to right thinking, learn not to make mistake, or learn to, make less mistake, or learn how to correct our mistake. Yeah. So then better and things are getting better and better. Then we don't have so much pain. Yeah. So pain, it looks like a memory, a distant memory. You don't have so much pain now, isn't it? And before, like terrible pain. Yeah? But now it's like distant memory, no more pain. Yeah? And no more suffering. And then you start to find peace. Yeah? Not from pain to bliss right away. From pain to peace. Yeah? That's already quite a lot. And then from peace to happiness. And from happiness to bliss. Okay? It's a gradual process. So if you don't understand this, and you are impatient, you think that I practice a little bit, and I have to get to bliss right away. Now, if I don't get to bliss right away, the teacher is wrong. The teacher promised me something that they don't know how to deliver. It's not like this. Right? So, and that is the most difficult thing. And you have to be steady in practice, and you have to have faith that you would get what you want. Some people, after some time practice, that's what they come and they tell me, what's the point of this practice? I don't feel bliss. I don't feel happiness. Yeah? So I said, well, you should have to continue. It's very difficult to continue. It's like you do it all the time. You reach something, some kind of, advanced practice, and you don't feel the promise of peace and bliss and happiness. And that particular case, I can tell you, the person continues. Even though doesn't know where to go, what to do, continue the practice. Yeah? And eventually it changed form. It changed subtly. Yeah? And you don't even know, because your mind blocked. Your mind have some preconceived idea and it blocks. It always show up with certain kind of expectation. And you don't even know that you have expectation. But actually when you're at the end of the line and you let go of your expectation, you surrender your expectation, then something opens. Okay? And then you have a new lease on life, on yoga life. So be patient. And the journey is from weakness to infinite strength. Why we have weakness? Why we don't have all the strength? But we have weakness. Because we have this personality, this habit, since a very long time. Okay? That constitutes our weakness. So then we have to work with it, and work with it, and work with it. And then the weakness will become strength. Yeah? It makes sense? If you work at something, then the weakness becomes strength. Yes or no?
Yes.
It's no longer weakness. Why? Because you suffer because of weakness. You suffer. So you think about it. You think about it the most. Yes or no? For example, you have a weakness to be impulsive, emotionally impulsive, or to be angry, or to be self-deprecating, and you beat yourself. Weakness to be, to be impatient, whatever. These are weakness. Okay? Or to be too intense. Yeah? To want too much now. Too much now. It's a weakness. It's a weakness. To want a good thing also. Yeah? It's not wanting a negative thing. You don't want alcohol, you don't want chocolate, but you want self-realization now. It doesn't work. It's a weakness. So at that time you have to slowly train yourself, adjust yourself. You know? And then you think that self-realization is somewhere to fly up in heaven. Yeah? And heaven is not there. And you still see the same grass, the same people. You know, it's not there. You look at the wrong place. So then you have to keep adjusting, and then you understand. Okay? Life is the great opportunity provided by the Lord. So, you live this life, you need to be grateful. Yeah? Because God gave you this life. God, we call God, means, Mother Nature gave you this life in order for you to make the best out of this life and to grow. He said, Swami Shiva said, life is a great opportunity provided by the Lord to His children to evolve into Himself. Okay? So the true goal of life is to get back to the source from which we came. The sole object of life is the attainment of self-realization or absolute freedom. Life in the spirit is the only real eternal life. The modern life, rush and hurry, with fear, insecurity, illness and action, is not real life. And friction is not real life. I remember exact words of Swami Sivananda and Bliss Divine. So in this book here is a little bit different. So something wrong. And friction is not real life. A life of material luxury. Yeah? So people, when they work very hard and they get money, you know what they do? They buy a house, right? Comfortable house. They equip the house with all the furniture they want. The bed, comfortable bed, with a button and you push and you sit up. Big jacuzzi. And then they continue to work hard. And they continue to have money. So what do? They buy another bigger house. The bigger jacuzzi. Bigger TV screen. And then they have more money. So what do? Buy another house. So you see, rich people, they have many houses. They have different houses in different places that they like. And then what they do? And they buy a yacht, a boat, to go relaxing. And then they buy an airplane. You know that? Rich people, they have their own airplane. And so that's what it's called. They think that the goal of life is material luxury. The more but it ends up to what? It ends up to pleasing the comfort of the body and pleasing the desires of the mind. It ends up to be the same. You're still living in the same consciousness of limited ego, self. And you still be slave to your own mindset. You cannot reach to find freedom. So that's not the purpose of life. He said, life of a material luxury, of wealth and power, is not the aim of life. That's not the goal. So that's why we need to go to these sages, or this teacher of wisdom, to understand and think about what they say. Swami Sivananda says, such life does not produce peace of mind and serenity of soul. Okay? So you have all these material properties and then all this wealth, and you're surrounded by, if you are very wealthy and you have all these properties, you're surrounded by, you think you're surrounded by friends? No. You're surrounded by lawyers. because you have to keep this property, and because the more that you have things will happen, right? So your friends are your lawyers. And the friends that come to you are those who want to go on a free ride on the yacht, or want to stay in your comfortable house in the Caribbean. And so they hang out with you so that they can share into that luxury. But if their purpose is to do that, are they your true friend? No, they cannot be your true friend. And when you lose all this, then what happens? Do you have any friend? No. So sensual pleasure is like honey mixed with poison. Sensual enjoyments are attended by various defects. I just hear a broadcast there. That somebody do some research, because people like to drink. They have this called social drinking. Yeah. And they say, for men it's two cups of wine a day, then it's safe. Then it will not create health problem. A woman, one. Yeah? Okay. So people live by this kind of rule. And then somebody do the research. I don't know exactly how they do the research, but they publish the research is none. Zero. Zero alcohol is safe for health. It's not half a cup or 1 cup. It's none. So, he said that sensual enjoyments are attended by various defects, sins, pains, attachment, bad habits, and mental restlessness. Okay? So sometimes people say that we are very extreme, in our diet, in our life. But it's not that. We are very natural. We follow nature. Nature is not extreme. Okay? But people that do things, when they say, oh, it's normal. No, it's a rajasic. It's not following the laws of health. So I continue reading. Swami Sivananda say mundane life, the life that is not based on spirit, but that based on the senses, external seeking for external happiness, is full of sorrow, pain, and bondage. It is full of hatred, selfish cares, worries, fights, quarrels, despair, and dejection. And in number of 0 have no value until you add the number 1 before them. And what's the number 1? The number 1 is the consciousness, awareness of the true self. And this is the number 1. If you have this consciousness, awareness of the true self, whatever you do, you wash the dishes, you feel in heaven. Yeah? But whatever you do, if you don't have that awareness of yourself, the mind is given to external goal, then its number is 0, 0, 0, 0 added. If you possess the whole world, it is nothing if you do not lead a spiritual life. Embrace the life of the soul. You'll be made pure and free. To live means pursuing the truth and surmounting all obstacles with courage. So the greatest joy in life is devotion to God and meditation on God in one's own heart. The greatest joy. To live is to fight for the ideal. You have to not be lazy, but you have to, fight. You fight with your mind, so wake up and meditate early morning with sunrise, isn't it? Your mind says, the mind will find some kind of excuse. Yesterday, I worked too late. Today, no. And today is too cold, or whatever, the mind comes with some excuse. So you have to fight with your mind. Fight for the ideal. So life is a school. The world is your best teacher. There is a lesson in each experience. The world is the best training ground for the development of various divine qualities like mercy. You have to practice mercy, forgiveness, tolerance, universal love, generosity, patience, strong will, and so on. Give up the lower nature, which consists of selfishness, lust, anger, hatred, and jealousy. So he's saying, sure ways to attain success in life and God realization. So make life a perpetual joy. Lead a simple life. Lead a regulated life. Lead a hard life. Live in the present. Forget the past. Give up hopes of the future. Why he would say something like this? We have plenty of hope. And without hope, we will not be able to do anything. And yet, Swami Sivananda said, give up the hopes. Why? Why say that? We need to give up hope. Why?
So let go of the desires?
No. So that you can be in the present. Because if you hope with your future, it always will be a hope and always will be a future. You always will never get to the goal. Yeah? But if you let go of hope, then you can be in the present. And in the present, eternal present, you find everything that you wanted. You see? So the training is, don't allow your mind to go to the past, full of regrets. Don't allow your mind to go to the future, and keep the mind very busy in the moment present. Okay? So he said, life is the greatest gift. So be appreciative about life. Utilize every second profitably. Okay? So sometimes, we have this wrong idea that life is a burden, and I never will get there, we are very depressed, But life is a gift. Okay? So just a change attitude. So when you advise people, try to do that. Change your attitude. And then you embrace life. So see life as a whole. Life also means completion. The fullness of life. The Lord breathes in our life. All is one. The world is one home. All are members of one human family. Separation is death. Unity is eternal life. Cultivate cosmic love. Recognize the worth of others. Destroy all barriers that separate man from man. Because if you judge people, nobody is good enough. Yes or no? You always find fault with people. So the ideal is not to find fault. Yeah? But see the wholeness and the worth of others. Destroy the separation. Then this world will be a paradise of beauty, a heaven of peace and tranquility. So, our life is an endless story of desires. That is our life. So the desire and satisfaction of desire is a very, very famous story that is told. Is a lady that is doing, mending clothing with a needle in her house, and then she dropped the needle and she very desperately looked for it, and then she went outside and tried to look for it, and then so desperate, and somebody passing by saying, "Madam, what are you looking for? Maybe I can help you." She said, "I looked for my needle." So the person who asked, "Where did you drop the needle?" She said, "I dropped it in her house." Oh, so why you look for it outside, you never find. She said, in the house is too dark. Outside there is light. You see, this is our eternal problem. So we lost our happiness, yeah, because we lose our connection with ourselves. But we go outside means in the sensual world, and we go look for it outside. Okay? And we will never find. But the happiness is the happiness within. It's not never the happiness outside. So what is happiness then? What is happiness? Swami Vishnu Devanji said, peace of mind is happiness. So we have this strong habit of looking for happiness externally. In a relationship, in chocolate, in landscape, in new clothing, fashion clothing, in shopping, all this. So if we are desperate of looking for happiness, what do? We go back to this habit. And we think, oh, maybe because this chocolate is not so good. If I can find a different chocolate, then I'll be happy. Or because you find fault in your relationship. Or maybe this relationship, this person is not nice, not good, so if I find another person, then I'll be happy. Or maybe this yoga school is not good, maybe I go to another yoga school, I'll be happy. So this is the mind trick. All the time finding fault with something so you can change, but you change for the same thing. You did not know it's your mind that created this idea. So, happiness doesn't come with satisfaction of desire. That's something we need to really understand. Right? Satisfaction of desire means satisfaction of what your mind says. Right? Happiness is beyond the mind. If you're caught in the mind, you're caught. It's endless. So the mind will always come up with some new idea. But we constantly find ourselves disappointed with all the desires. Because once you fulfill the desire, again you feel empty, unfulfilled. So we assume that the problem comes from the object, so we change. So that's why the restlessness, constantly. Happiness is within. That's the main thing. Isn't it a song like this? Happiness is within. It is never outside. There's a song. Who made it? Swami Sivananda? No. There's a song in our chant book. Happiness is within. If you look for happiness, it's within. What do you do then? You do sadhana. You do yoga. To find your happiness within. Yoga and meditation help us to calm down, to stop that process of running after desires, and to look within to find the answers. So relaxation in yoga is very important. Relaxation means ceasing to be restless, letting go of our attachments and desires. It is also surrendering ourselves or accepting our inner self, and realizing that all is perfect already. In the yoga class, we combine breathing and relaxation to help people to turn inward and to relax and to become more aware of themselves. So the main thing is relaxation and to realize that happiness is already here. But it's difficult for us to get there. Because again, the mind will come up and say this and that, and this and that. How many things that you do, but you never will find. Because it's not in what you do. It's not in all the books that you read. But it is in the deep relaxation and contentment. So the story of the monkey that put his hand into the jar of cookies. He grabbed the cookies, he pulled his hands out, and he cannot get his hand out. because his hand gets stuck in the neck of the jar. So he jump around with the hands already touching the cookies. You imagine he's suffering. Yeah. So the only thing for him to be free is to let go of the cookies. He let go of the cookies. He can get the hand out. Yeah, but he cannot let go of the cookies. So he suffers. So it's like us. Yeah. We cannot let go of our desires. Even though the desire and the dissatisfaction, disillusion makes us unhappy. But we cannot let go of our desire and of our imagination. Yeah? So, we would have to learn to tune the mind within, turn it within, to slowly train it to recognize the happiness and the contentment that is already there. So I promised a few topics, and now another topic of freedom. Okay. In yoga, freedom can be attained through self-discipline. So in yoga, we say freedom can be attained with self-discipline. Freedom doesn't come because you follow whatever your desire in the mind. True freedom is realizing our inner ruler, the immortal Atman, which is the one without a second. Freedom is the birthright of man. Freedom is the very nature of the eternal soul. Yeah. So everyone talk about freedom. Even the politicians talk about freedom. You know, follow me, I'll show you the way to freedom. Yeah. Freedom is knowledge, peace, and bliss. The so-called freedom we enjoy is in fact dependency, resulting from slavery to our desires and the mind. By self-discipline, we control our mind's projections and find true freedom, which is in our true nature. So false freedom, we talk about loose life, is not perfect freedom. Eating anywhere, sleeping anywhere, endless wandering, liberty of speech, to be a king, to be a president, to have plenty, to possess immense wealth is not freedom. To shirk responsibility is not freedom. Material independence will not give you perfect happiness and freedom. Real freedom is not merely political or economic. Real freedom is lordship over oneself. It is the freedom of the soul. It is attainable only through slow and painful stages. Real freedom is freedom from birth and death, then from karma. Real freedom is freedom from the trammels of flesh and mind. Real freedom is freedom from the bonds of karma. Real freedom is freedom from desires and wants. Real freedom is freedom from likes and dislikes, attachment, lust, anger, greed. Real freedom is identification with the Supreme Self. So the cause of bondage, mind, the mind that you use every single day and you believe to be yourself, is the cause of bondage. And also is the cause of salvation of man. Swami Vishwanavanji say it's like climbing a ladder. Either you climb the ladder, it brings you up, or you fall down from the ladder, it breaks your neck. It depends how you use your mind. The same mind can give you freedom, and the same mind can bring you to misery. The egoistic mind is the cause of bondage. Where there is no mind, there is no bondage. Mind imagines through indiscrimination and ignorance that the soul has been confined and located in this body. And hence, it perceives the soul to be in bondage. So when you think that, why I live this life, I don't want this life, I don't want to be in this body, you are talking out of ignorance. Because you are not confined. The soul is always free. So you blame this poor body. The body is just an instrument. So the non-egoistic mind is the root of moksha. Moksha is liberation. So the road to moksha is the non-egoistic mind. So train yourself to be non-egoistic. You have created your own bondage through your desire and your attachment, your egoism and cravings. You cry for emancipation or liberation. But attachment is the most powerful weapon of Maya, or cosmic illusion, is your attachment. The first attachment starts with the physical body, and then all other attachments come. Attachment to body, food, wife, sons, friends. There is no end to cares and worries. Man creates for himself all these cares. No one is to be blamed. When there is no I or no egoism, there is liberation. It is liberation when the mind is not attached to any object. It is bondage when the mind desires or grieves over anything, rejects or accepts anything, feels angry or happy at anything. Emancipation is release from the bondage of the little ego and its desires and cravings. Okay? So, what is liberation? Know your real divine nature. Okay? Do not identify with the body and mind. Know that you are immortal spirit. You are lions, not sheep. I want a lion to remember that. You look in the eyes of the lion. You are, remember, you are the lions, not sheep. This is the story of the baby lion that is growing up in the forest because her mother died and it was raised by a group of sheep, and then the baby lion thinks that he's sheep and he's baa like sheep and, eat grass. But the lion is the king of the forest. So one day a lion come and saw this big lion among sheep and said, "Oh, you are a lion, come with me." He said, No. I like to be with my brother and sister. So the lion come to the forest, has to pick up the other lion, bring him to the river and say, "Okay, now look, this is a pond. And then look in the water and see yourself." So he look and say, "Oh, there are two of you." No, there's not two. Now move and see. He moved his paw and then the reflection of himself moved. He said, This is me, and this is you, you're a lion. I am a lion. So he recognized his true nature. He's raw for the first time. He never know how to roar. Yeah. So this story, Vedantic story, is illustrating our condition. What's our condition? Why we bang all the time? Bang means cry. I'm a victim. You did this to me. Oh, poor me. Oh, I don't have this. Oh, poor me. Bang. I have to pay my bills. I don't have not enough money to buy this dress. Whatever. You bang. Cry. But in reality, you are this immortal self. That doesn't need anything to be happy. So wake up. And what is the lion that comes? Is the guru. The guru is strong, is powerful, is not afraid, all the time happy. And you say, "Oh, because you were born special. That's why you can do this, but not me. I'm just a little person. I cannot do this, I cannot do that. You give me a little job and a little life, and that's all the goal of life." So the guru has to literally show, no, that's not your true nature. You are capable, you're strong, you're powerful, all the knowledge is from within you. Now wake up, remember your true nature. And then when you are inspired like this, you wake up, you remember your true nature, and a lot of things you can do. But when you're weak, you think, "Oh, I cannot do, that's terrible. I cannot teach a class, I cannot cook a meal, I cannot. Oh, sorry, I cannot." You see? But in yoga, we say the one thing, do not say, "I cannot." Always say, "Yes, Yeah, and do it. And then you do it better, you do it better, you do it better. Okay? So that's it. Thank you very much. We continue tomorrow. Trayambakam yajamahe sugamnim pushtivarnam urvakam nivabandhanam mrityur mukshyamamritam. Om Trayambakam yajamahe sugamnim pushtivarnam urvakam nivabandhanam mrityur mukshyamamritam. Om Trayambakam yajamahe sugamnim pushtivarnam urvakam nivabandhanam mrityur mukshyamamritam. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Bolo Satguru Sivananda Maharaj ki Jai. Om Shri Vishnu Devananda Maharaj ki Jai.